Hey, I'm Scott, and I'm an American in Bangkok. I'll tell you, I got a couple guys that I consider to be uh, chowderheads. One in particular. One guy is not really a chowderhead. He's just trying to feel his way, but he ought to know better. Okay? He's 63 years old. And he's asking me about a 30-year-old woman and a 36-year-old woman. And is it okay? And, listen, if at the age of, say, 50 or 60, you're still worried about what everybody else thinks, to me, there's a problem. Now, that's just me. Because I want to live my life for me. I'm not living my life for everybody else. Let me get to the first guy. He sent me a message through Facebook. 52 years old. Met a girl on an online dating site. She's 23. He's 52. Now, he meets her. After a couple of months, I'm in love. He meets her online, not in person. After a couple months, it's, I'm in love. So, of course, he decides he's got to go to Bangkok. And let me tell you something. Anybody who unless you're like maybe in another city or something, and even that's a little bit much, why are you traveling to go meet a woman? Why do you have to? Guess what? You don't have to. Now, in your little mind, you might have to because I have no other options. You do have other options. Be alone or figure out a way to hook up. Eventually, if you try hard enough, you should be able to. Now, this guy seems like a nice guy. I mean, and I flat out told him I thought he was a chowderhead because, guys don't think. And guys that watch my videos don't listen. And this is one reason why I have not done very many videos about men and their women problems lately. And I don't plan on doing them in the future. Because they're a waste of my time for the most part because guys don't want to listen. They ask you, what do you think about this? What should I do? Oh my goodness. I'm not sure. I'm an old man and I still don't know anything. Come on, man. Grow up. So this guy comes over. He, has his fun with her and, they spend some time together and, it must be love. So what does he do? He brings her back to Australia. Gets her a visa. Gets married. The mother is ecstatic. She's so happy. Now, she's happy because the guy's finally got a woman. I mean, I think that's what it is. She's finally got a woman who seems to be somewhat together. Now, she's a girl who just graduated school. She wants to pay off her student debt, the debt that she incurred for her parents, from her parents. Her parents incurred the debt, basically. She's got to pay it back. So she wants to pay the debt back. So she's telling the mother, I'm sure I want to have a family. I want to do this. I want to do that. And the mother loves her. And the guy is like, hey, I want to have a family now. She's like, no, I don't want to have a family now. I want to pay some bills. I want to make some money. She's got a life ahead of her. Now, in general, I would say if you're in a position where she doesn't have to work, she doesn't want to work, you have a mutual interest in working together, you have some kind of a business where she can just step right in, or she has a business, whatever, but or you have some kind, you're wealthy and you both are volunteers at the AIDS clinic or the dog rescue, the animal rescue or whatever, something like that, and you both work together. I think that's great because the age is only something. I mean, it's like, hey, it doesn't matter what everybody else thinks. If you get along and you've got a similar likes and dislikes, and it doesn't even matter the likes and dislikes. What matters is you get along and you enjoy being with one another. Okay, so you work for whatever. Okay, that works. But guess what? This girl. He doesn't have that luxury to say, honey, come on, you come on board at my business and let's work. No, it doesn't work that way. So she wants to work. She wants a little bit of a career. It's understandable. And he doesn't like it. So he's like, hey, if you don't like it, let's get a divorce. Now the mother's mad at him because he wants a divorce because she's not doing what he wants. Well, maybe you should have found this out before. And the reason that I think he's a chowderhead is because he didn't know anything about her. He doesn't speak the language. He knows very little about Thailand, very, very little. And yet he wants to marry a woman from a foreign country, a extremely different country than Australia. Some of them, nah, you get what you deserve. Simple as that. It has nothing to do with the actual age difference. It has to do with being at a different place in your lives and not being able to integrate your lives to be a life as a husband and wife, to have a life as a husband and wife. Because this is the thing, and I've been talking to a couple of guys, one guy in particular who has a woman and he wants this and he wants that, but he doesn't want this. And, you know, it's like you want the girl to spend a lot of time with you. Not too much, but you want her to spend time with you. But you want a girl who isn't relying on you. So guess what? If she's not relying on you, that means she has to work. Well, guess what? If she works, she might not be able to spend that much time with you. So it's a catch-22. And with this guy, it's kind of like, what did you expect? She's 23 years old. You're at a different juncture in your lives. If, like I said, maybe he ran an orphanage or something, and he had money, and he was able to bring her on, and she just helped out, and they got along, of course. Then maybe that would work. But when it comes to, hey, honey, I want you to have my kids now. I'm getting older. I want to be a father by the time I'm, 54. And she's like, no, I'm 23. I want to pay some bills. I got things to do. I want to start my career so that if anything happens to you or you dump me, we got something going on. Now, this woman didn't even ask for any sinsod. Now, she could have just been wanting a free trip to Australia. Who knows? I don't know. And guess what? That's the thing. All of these videos that I make about these chowderheads, they are just my opinion. And sometimes they are an educated opinion because maybe an anecdotal educated opinion, if you will. But that's all they are. And so when I give my opinion and guys don't want to listen, what's the point? So there are going to be very, very, very few of these type videos in the future. Fortunately, because I have things that I want to do. All right, so I got this other message from Steven. He says, hey, with all your years in Bangkok, I got a situation I wanted to ask you about. Just met a gal on Thai Friendly who was 36. I'm 63. I made sure she was aware of the big age difference. She's got a bachelor's degree in her own business. She dresses very conservatively and has sent me a few cute pictures of her. Question, is this out of the ordinary with a much older man? I'm the one who's been writing to a 30-year-old pharmacist in Bangkok. It just seems way too young. She's on to me to come see her. I know the 36-year-old is not much older. If you're already saying, oh, I'm not sure about this, or I need to ask you a question about this because I'm not sure, is this ordinary? Why not just worry about what you want and what you think? If you think that they're too young for you, then guess what? They're too young. So if it's an issue with you, then it's an issue. If it's not an issue, then it's not an issue. What do you care about what everybody else thinks? It's your happiness. And you only got one life to live, so why not worry about that life? That's my own opinion on it. Now, what do I think about as far as your particular situation? I think that there's no hurry. You should take your time. I don't believe you know much about Thailand. And I would say, if you want to meet a woman in Thailand, this is my own golden rule. Another golden rule. Okay? One of my golden rules is you don't get emotionally involved with a prostitute. Okay, to me that's just common sense. Another one of my rules is if you're coming to Thailand, don't think that because you're coming here for 2 weeks or a month that you're going to meet the love of your life. Don't go into it looking at it that way. Because the chances of that happening and finding a legitimately good girl who wants to stay with you and commit to you in a 2-week period is very slim. You might sleep with some. That's, definitely possible. But to get into a long-term relationship, committed, serious relationship, where you should allow that person into your life, to me seems like a huge long shot. It's a gamble, and I wouldn't want to do it. especially if you're living outside of the country. Now, if you move here, the general rule, to me, my golden rule is for people, stay here for at least a year or two, learn the culture, learn the language, get to know the woman, be friends, sleep with her, do whatever, but do not get into a serious relationship and start promising marriage and all this other stuff. Because at the very beginning, you are vulnerable and you don't know what you're talking about. I hope you have a great new year. You don't get in any trouble. Yada, yada, yada. Until next time, I'm Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok. Look forward to 2017. Chok di la jerken.